Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Peter Verischetti. As Chair of the Property and Facilities Committee of the University's Board of Trustees, I would like to welcome everyone to today's public meeting. This meeting has been duly advertised as a public meeting in accordance with the Sunshine Act and is therefore open to members of the public as observers. Participation in the meeting is limited to members of the Property and Facilities Committee and to those the committee has invited in advance to take part. This meeting is being streamed on YouTube and is also being recorded. The recording will be made available via the Board of Trustees website at a later date. A quorum of voting members of the Property and Facilities Committee is present for the transaction of business at today's meeting. Today's agenda includes consideration of a lease with Elevate Bio as tenant in the university-owned BioForge facility. At this time, I would like to call on Dr. DeYoung to review the proposed lease. Dr. DeYoung?
Thank you, Pete, and good morning, everyone. The university plans to develop BioForge, a new 185,000 gross square foot facility within Lot 18 of the Hazelwood Green development along the Monongahela River. The planned facility will support cell and gene therapy, translational research while growing the commercial gene and cell therapy biomanufacturing industry in Pittsburgh. The BioForge building will be owned by the university, with approximately 75% of the rentable space within the building to be leased to Elevate Bio Base Camp Incorporated for use as a commercial biomanufacturing facility. The proposed lease will have a term of 10 years commencing upon substantial completion of core and shell construction of the BioForge facility, with 2 10-year renewal options. The university will reimburse the tenant's premises fit-out costs up to an amount of $122 million. The administration is requesting authorization to execute the lease agreement between the University of Pittsburgh and Elevate Bio Base Camp Incorporated, subject to the finalization of the lease agreement.
Thank you, Dr. DeYoung. Are there any questions or comments regarding this lease? May I have a motion to approve the lease with Elevate Bio as tenant in the proposed university-owned BioForge facility?
So moved.
Pete, I'd move it with an amendment to the resolution. And the amendment to the resolution that I'm proposing for the committee's review and approval would be to have the university be able to review Elevate Bio's financial statements and credit facilities and get a representation back to this committee, either from Elevate Bio or back to us, that there's been no material change to the financial condition of Elevate Bio and or its credit facilities since they last looked at it back in December and not showed it to us, but told us that they were acceptable.
We have a motion for Mr. Pelusi. Do we have that motion recorded?
I think we do, Pete. I think you need a second on the first motion before you can entertain Mr. Pelusi.
I'm sorry?
I think you need a second on.
I move to approve it subject to that. So if somebody wants to second it.
Right.
Do we have a?
I'll second it.
We have a second on Mr. Pelusi's motion.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. The resolution is approved. Today's agenda also includes consideration of the BioForge core and shell construction in the Hazelwood Green development. At this time, I would like to ask Dr. David DeYoung to review the proposed project. Dr. DeYoung?
Thank you, Pete. The university plans to construct BioForge, a 185,000 gross square foot facility within the Hazelwood Green development along the Monongahela River to support cell and gene therapy, translational research, and commercial gene and cell therapy biomanufacturing. BioForge building will be owned by the university, with a portion of the space to be leased as a commercial biomanufacturing facility and the remainder of the building to be allocated for establishment of a manufacturing institute for the university. This proposed project will construct only the core and shell of the facility at this time, including a 2-story structure with mechanical penthouse and an exterior envelope to be comprised of metal panels, curtain wall systems, brick, and roofing. The university will seek separate approval for design and construction of the proposed programmatic fit-out of the Manufacturing Institute at a future meeting. The administration is requesting authorization to construct the core and shell of the BioForge facility at an estimated cost not to exceed $120 million.
Thank you, Dr. DeYoung. Are there any questions or comments regarding this project?
Pete, I would just like to ask the university to review once again the ownership structure, both for the land and the leasehold, and report back to the group. But I'm not going to make any amendments. I just want them to, based on our informational meeting, ask them to go back and relook at that.
Thank you. Thank you, John. May I have a motion in a second to approve the BioForge core and shell construction and the Hazelwood Green development?
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any other discussion outside of what John Pelusi shared? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. The resolution is approved. Is there any new business to be brought before this committee today? Thank you. The meeting is now adjourned.
Thank you, Pete.
Absolutely.